back in practice this week. We just talked to Thomas, and he talked about how this is the best he's seen you energy-wise and enthusiasm-wise, getting back into things and kind of seeing everything. So what's been the biggest benefit for you with that week to see the game from a different perspective?
Yeah, it's again just being able to be in a different perspective and being able to learn as much as I can from the sidelines. It was just a good perspective to have, and that's just something that's been a point of emphasis for us as a team. Obviously, not having the start we want, so we have to emphasize things. We have to improve, and urgency, control, making sure we're executing, and that starts in walkthrough, starts in practice. So that's really just been a point of emphasis for everyone. And as the quarterback and as a leader, I have to go in and make sure that I go and try to lead just like everyone else is. I was just trying to do my part in that, and I feel like as a whole, we've improved in that, but we have to keep doing it.
Bryce, you dealt with an injury last year and had to miss a game. What did you learn from that experience that you took into this experience in week 3?
Yeah, that whether if you're missing a practice, you're missing a game, it's not just a mental break. It's not just all right. I'm just watching as a fan. You still try to play the game from the sidelines. You still try to do everything you can to help the team. Do everything you can to help. In this case, to help Andy and to just try to communicate as much as possible. And then throughout the week, still go through the same preparation. Still look through and watch the same amount of stuff just to keep yourself in that routine. So just being consistent and making sure that even though I wasn't able to play, still was able to get something out of the week.
Bryce, do you know when you were injured against the Saints?
No, I'm honestly, I don't.
Was it something that after the game, when did you first feel like you were hurt?
Yeah, after the game was, kind of when it all came about.
And any thought that turf may have contributed?
No, I haven't thought about that at all.
Can you describe just the pain is when we watch you walking out there, there's no limp. So is this a situational situation where if you turn one way, that's when it starts to feel pain? What was that pain like?
It's just, it's a part of the game, it's a part of it. And, for me, it was just listening to the training staff. They obviously, they know all the, I try to do everything I can to know the football side, and I'm just in the same way that they know, they know the body, they know the medical side of it. So that was just, the decision that was made. I trust them. I know it was the right thing. I don't really know all the specifics. I know what happened, but I know again what it, as far as the decision was exactly what it should have been. So for me, it's just focusing on the game.
Right. So there was a lot of you had a bunch of chunk plays last week with Andy at quarterback. Is there anything you picked up on that maybe you can use going forward?
Yeah, doing a great job of finding them and executing, and great calls as well. And I think again as a whole, just the unit offensively did some great things. For me, just being able to see it and learn from it, it was good to see it from another perspective and to take it. And I'm always trying to learn, I'm always trying to grow, and just being able to watch everything. Again, there's stuff for us to build off of that. I'm gonna, me and myself and the entire unit, we're gonna go and build off of, and stuff we have to improve as well. So I think it's just trying to keep building.
Bryce, Frank said that Andy came to him and there were certain plays that he liked a lot that kind of got emphasized in that game. Do you sort of compare the list of plays Andy likes, plays you like at the end of each week just to kind of see what the differences are?
Yeah, well, it's not really too much of a, hey, I have these group of plays, Andy has this group of plays, Jake last week has this group of plays. It's a discussion. We all talk about things. We all bring things to the table for a reason. There's open conversations, dialogue, and of course there's some plays that just naturally, we all lean towards more. We might see better, feel more comfortable with, whatever it may be. But it's not as black as white. It's like this is one call sheet, this is the other. There's stuff that I've had experience with and don't have experience with, but I still come in. I come in with an open mind. We all do, and we all, we watch the film. We talk about specific looks that we want, talk about answers and things like that. I think it's more so just. When stuff's brought to the table, obviously there's thought behind it. There's reason. So it's just us kind of trying to, us figuring that out and trying to do our best to execute those calls.
Following up on that, I mean, were there things you saw Sunday where it kind of made you think differently about, the way you go into a week and things you might lean toward or not?
I think again whenever you see stuff on film and you watch, you're able to put it on film and see examples. It always helps with certain things. But I think we all have the same approach, and I don't think that's something that changes. We all, again, we're open to stuff. At the end of the week, we fill things out. Stuff gets added, stuff gets cut out. I think that happens, everywhere. But I think it was the same approach last week. So I think again, just trying to hone in on that process is kind of a point of emphasis for me.
I'm not sure if you,
about nobody's 100% healthy at this point in the year. I'm just wondering, compared to, without putting a number on it, what's the difference from last week? Are there any limitations for you this week?
Yeah, no, I feel great. Yeah, I feel great.
I'm not sure if you, have you been on a team that's ever lost 3 games in a row?
I don't think, I think regardless, I don't think really the past, I think it's a new situation, it's a new season.
I ask that because, when you're used to winning and being on teams winning, I'm curious how you're processing this start of your career, having it not have gone particularly how you or anyone planned.
Yeah, I think you have to, again, you do have to process it and understand it for what it is, but, at the end of the day, as, of course, obviously it's not the start we want, but it's nothing we can change now. So, for me, and, I've said a lot, but with good or bad, you have to figure out what's next, and you have to be able to accept that and move on and try to be constructive with it. And, it hasn't been too much of a, there's no dwelling on it. There's no, what about this, what about that? Because at the end of the day, it's not gonna accomplish anything. And we have to earn the right to win a game. We have to earn everything, and especially who we're playing this week. We have to earn that. And if we spend time thinking about what could have, what we wish could have, how if we spend that, we have to do everything we can to make sure we're prepared. So whether it's week in and week out, we have to turn the page. We have to take, we have to learn from what happened, and we have to, figure out how we can build and be better and grow. But we have to turn the page, and especially in this league, you have to be constructive. You have to keep moving forward. So I think that's really where my mindset and all of our mindsets are.
Bryce, from the perspective of this week, when you're facing a team that sends an extra guy or two pretty often, how important is your processing ability at the line of scrimmage pre-snap?
Yeah, definitely important. As I feel like it always is. That's a big part of the position, in my opinion. Processing, being able to see stuff, and that's something also that I lean a lot on my coaches with and teammates. And again, we meet for a while, we talk about things, and just being able to lean on the stuff we're looking for, what we're trying to see, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish and execute. Just being able to get as many mental reps as you can of that and put yourself through it, and then again trying to spend as much time internalizing it, so when things do happen, you can apply it in game.
Do you agree with Thomas that yesterday was your best practice here, just overall, and specifically bringing the energy?
I don't really know if that's for me to judge. Again, we talked about increasing and just in practice our energy and our tempo, and that's something that's been a point of emphasis. So I definitely did take it to heart. As we all do. Whenever Coach Reich or TB goes up and talks, we all take that stuff to heart. So that was definitely a point of emphasis, and I was just trying to do my best to do that. And I think we did good things, but there's stuff to clean up, and we have to keep doing it, and we have to keep growing and building. And if it's a good practice, that's great. But that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't entitle you to anything, and you can't hang your hat off for good practice. You have to keep building. So I don't know if it's for me to decide that, but it's definitely something that we want to keep building on.
Bryce, a lot of questions about your durability during the draft process. How does that potentially drive you to come back so fast from an injury so that it can't be used against you?
Yeah, it doesn't drive me at all. Again, good or bad, what people are gonna say, it's out of my control. Everyone, people are going to have opinions, good and bad, and I think, again, that's the beauty of sports. It's great. We get to have conversations, and people that are passionate and care get to express that. But for me, I can't control that. It's not something I think about. Ultimately, I care about the opinions of the people in this building. I care about, my teammates and coaches, and I trust everyone here. So that's whose opinions, and when they speak, that's, who I listen to. And, again, one way or another, I can't control what people say or think, so it doesn't dictate my actions.
And Frank said you were trending towards being the starter. Any reason to think you won't be out there starting from what you've seen so far?
Yes, that's not my call either.
Bryce, you've gotten to know Adam Thielen over the last few months. How much motivation do you think he will have on Sunday playing against his former team that released him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, his whole tenure being there before this, obviously you always want to go and make a great impression. But honestly, you see him throughout the week. He attacks every week like that. And it's been no different this week. But he always has that intensity, that drive. He's a very fierce competitor, wants to win, and not just wants to win on Sunday, but wants to win throughout the week so that we can do it on Sunday. And that's been very evident and very big for us as a team, just to be able to see that. So I obviously we want to win every game, and this one again obviously is he has a lot of experience with his team, but based off his approach and how he's out in practice in the meetings, it's the same that same Adam that wants to win and wants to compete every week.
Bryce, how much credit do you give Dalton during this whole process?
Man, he's been amazing for me. Just for me being able to learn from him on the field, off the field. From the X's and O's to the operation, how he carries himself, and just in all that we do, and then on the field, just seeing all the experience and seeing him process all that. I ask him a bunch of questions. I'm always trying to learn from him and the entire QB room, and he's been great for me because he's taken the time out to answer those and to try to mentor me and to help me with all the things that I have questions on. So I'm super grateful to have him as a part of the team.
We don't get to talk about Parks Frazier a lot, but as the passing game coordinator, what does he bring to that room? You say you want to get to know the entire quarterback room. What does he bring?
PGC, that's the man right there. I think obviously schematically, just he's super smart. Is someone who again is really smart, has a great feel for designing plays and knowing when things and attacking stuff, and trying to find matchups, trying to find things that can give us an edge. And on top of that, he's just great to work with as well. Someone who's very consistent and knows what he's talking about, but also it's not ego free, not arrogant, is a mix of confident but willing to talk. And a lot of times when you see people as smart as being as smart as he is, it's easy to just be like no, I know what I'm talking about. I've watched the film. I know exactly. But he comes in and has that intelligence, but still has the ability to be, all right, let's talk about it. How do you feel? How do you see it within the whole room with everyone? What has everyone experienced with that? So being able to work with him and learn from him has been amazing.
You said PGC. What is?
Pass game coordinator.
Oh, okay.
When's the last time you were a part of a team that started 0-3 or even lost 3 straight games?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, but again, at the same time, good. Your records from the past, good or bad, definitely doesn't entitle you or earn you anything when you get here. So I'm happy to be a part of this team. That's all my focus is on. And of course, it's not the start we want, but again, it's where we're at. So we have to earn the right to dig our way out of that. And really, that's where our focus is at.
The answer is really never.
I can think of high school and college, so I can't really think past that, honestly.
We'll finish up with Mike.
Right, we'll get back to Adam Thielen and his contributions. You already credited Andy with being a key mentor for you. With Adam playing his old team this week, is he someone you might be talking a little bit more to, saying, getting some tendencies on the corners and the safeties that he's familiar with, and even not just Minnesota, but other players that he's gone against to kind of get some inside info?
Yeah, we try to get as much knowledge as we can. the great thing is it's all just, we all watch the tape and we try to learn from that. And, you also understand that, it's a bit of a chess game. People know that they're putting stuff on tape or know they have tendencies and try to break them. And, so you definitely try to learn as much as you can and take as much information in as you can, but also you have to understand, we're going against a lot of smart players. Those are guys that know their tendencies as well and know that we're looking for stuff. And, so again, it's great about the sport, just at all positions, the players, the coaches, just that chess game, that back and forth. So we definitely try to take as much information as we can. I try to do so, but, also, figuring out how it fits within what we're doing. I feel like that's kind of a key balance.
Some of the veterans that will give you some of the stuff that may not appear on tape. I mean, Adam was teammates with some of these guys last year and knows, oh, he likes to break early or likes to do this, or, I mean, that sort of thing that you may not, the subtleties that you may not see on film.
Yeah, we try to have conversations, and then, you match it up with film, and, you talk about things. But again, it's a mix of that, but also, figuring out that, they know the things as well. So, you have conversations, but then you try to make them applicable. So,
Thank you, Bryce.
appreciate you guys.